Russia, go home now.
In a letter to respected COP21 world leaders in Paris, France in 2015, Supreme Master Ching Hai urgently advised them to implement vegan law as the solution to mitigate global warming. The letter reads as follows. Respected COP21 world leaders Paris, my special salute and best wishes to all of your distinguished, honoured ladies and gentlemen who have gathered in Paris for the protection of our world. This is just a reminder that just paying money alone cannot save lives, but being vegan does. A lot of evidence and information about this for you to consider are in the book From Crisis to Peace, free online at crisis2peace.org. Countless lives in the present and future, including yours and your children's future, children of your children's, are in your hands. Save them by voting for and implementing vegan law to stabilize the climate. Otherwise, lives on Earth will perish and we will be committing a graver offense than all the acts of killing and wars combined. With all love in God, yours most sincerely, Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Vegan.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
รายการของเรามีให้หลายภาษาโปรดดู suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Professor Madani learned early on from his parents that a community's access to water often has more to do with politics than engineering. He ensured that his education included understanding how policies are made and how plans are put into effect by governments. Kaveh Madani, a renowned water resources management expert. Please continue watching to learn how an innovative scientist has successfully bridged the gap between theory and practice for the benefit of the public.
This is one protest march which has not been paid for by any political party. नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी। पशुगुना नहीं चलेगी। नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी। पशुगुना नहीं चलेगी। अरे नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी। पशुगुना नहीं चलेगी। If every slaughterhouse did have a glass wall, we would all be better activists. We need to step our game up. The animals out there are screaming.
I just want to say that if you're not already vegan, please try to become vegan because it's the best thing you can do. It saves the animals, it saves your health, and it saves the planet. Evan Lefevre, aka Vegan Evan, vegan.
Saludos, that means greetings in Spanish, the official language of the Dominican Republic. Serene viewers, I am Cassandra, and honored to serve as your host. The welcoming inhabitants of this scenic region pray that you appreciate the beauty of God's creation, from the glittering star-studded sky to the gentle, refreshing rain. Welcome to today's show, Kaveh Madani, a renowned water resources management expert. Water is not just a tradable commodity. Indeed, the United Nations considers access to drinkable water a human right.
Water is a human right.
However, only a small percentage of the world's water is fresh, and much of it is unavailable, frozen in glaciers, or otherwise out of reach. By 2025, more than 60% of humans on Earth will likely face water shortages due to climate change and population growth. Thus, Water resource conflict is emerging as an urgent social, political, and environmental issue. Successive Secretaries General of the United Nations have expressed concern about the effects of water shortages on the world's people. And in February 2023, at the World Economic Forum's annual meetings in Davos, Switzerland, the agenda included discussions on water and national security. A lack of fresh water could lead to limited harvests, migrants seeking sustenance, and heightened international tensions. In response, scientists from various disciplines have dedicated themselves to researching water management and sharing their findings. One of these selfless individuals is Professor Kaveh Madani, a globally recognized environmental scientist, educator, and activist. Let's trace out how he became an expert in his field and discuss his work at the intersection of science, policy, and society. Professor Madani is from Iran, a Middle Eastern country that does not get a lot of rain. His parents worked for the government's water department and taught him the importance of managing and protecting this precious resource. He adopted their enthusiasm and aspired to follow in their footsteps. As a youngster, Professor Madani envisioned a world where every living creature would have unlimited access to water, an ideal shared by the United Nations. The future expert on water resources completed his elementary education in Tehran. In 2003, he graduated from the University of Tabriz with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. That same year, at the age of 22, he left Iran to continue his studies abroad. He went to Lund University in Sweden, earning a master's in water resources. Professor Madani then moved to California in the United States. He received a PhD in civil and environmental engineering from the University of California, Davis. Afterward, he relocated to do further research in environmental economics and policy at the University of California, Riverside. During those postdoctoral years, Professor Madani published his remarkable article, Game Theory and Water Resources, in the Journal of Hydrology. Managing water resources involves dealing with the objectives of various parties. Game theory, the mathematical study of competition and cooperation, is a way to examine the outcome of individual actions to find solutions acceptable to everyone. He learned early on from his parents that the community's access to water often has more to do with politics than engineering. He ensured that his education included understanding how policies are made and how plans are put into effect by governments.
Make peace now, not drag yourself to hell, after lying down below or blown to pieces by weapon, murder. What will it all get you hereafter?
In 2011, the Iranian academic joined the University of Central Florida, or UCF, as an assistant professor in the Department of Civil, Environmental, and Construction Engineering and an Alex Alexander Fellow. He also served as a faculty advisor to the university's chapter of Engineers Without Borders, USA. This association of volunteers helps underserved communities meet their essential needs by designing and constructing sustainable infrastructure. For example, students from UCF visited a town in Haiti where the nearest clean water was 6 miles away. Their solution was to install a rainwater collection system with biosand filters that remove pathogens and suspended solids. Every year, the American Society of Civil Engineers, or ASCE, recognizes 10 young professionals who have demonstrated leadership, communication skills, and a commitment to community service. Professor Madani was selected as one of the new faces of civil engineering in 2012. The following year, he left the US to join the Imperial College London in the United Kingdom. The water resources specialist started as a lecturer but was soon elevated to associate professor. By 2015, he was a reader in systems analysis and policy, the highest level below a full professor in the UK.
Vegan side effect must deal with good new friends.
Perhaps our discussion of access to water has given you a thirst. Let's take a quick time out so you can quench that. When we return, we will find out what happened when Professor Madani returned to his homeland. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Bangladesh is one of them.
Bangladesh Animal Welfare Bill 2019. This unanimously passed law provides much stricter penalties for animal people cruelty than in the past, with serious violations incurring up to 2 years imprisonment and or a 50,000 taka or $590 fine.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace, so be it.
Liberté pour l'Ukraine! Liberté pour l'Ukraine!
We pray for Ukraine or you reign.
Welcome back to our program about Kaveh Madani, a renowned water resources management expert on Supreme Master Television. The cross-trained engineer was acquiring a considerable reputation. The European Geosciences Union, or EGU, headquartered in Munich, Germany, took note and named Professor Madani one of the winners of the 2016 Arnie Richter Award for Outstanding Young Scientists. The Union Council praised him for connecting theoretical knowledge with practical application and communicating with the public to increase awareness of crucial environmental issues. By 2017, news of Professor Madani's achievements reached Tehran, where the government had several vacant positions it needed to fill. The hydrology and social science specialist returned home to become the deputy head of Iran's Department of Environment. He also served as chief of the department's International Affairs and Convention Center, leading his country's delegation at several major intergovernmental summits, including the COP23 climate change negotiations. On the domestic front, one of Professor Madani's most notable achievements was a national public awareness campaign about waste in general and particularly plastic pollution. Using the catchphrase, "Let's start with ourselves," he challenged citizens and decision-makers alike to share their actionable solutions for reducing environmental litter. This experimental strategy became a popular social media game that attracted the participation of celebrities, politicians, activists, and the general public from around Iran. Professor Madani's efforts led to numerous waste collection events, bans on plastic water bottles, and a general sense of excitement around the conservation of resources. After completing his public service, Professor Madani left politics and moved to New Haven, Connecticut in the U.S. He became a Henry Hart Rice Senior Fellow at Yale University's Macmillan Center for International and Area Studies. The sought-after educator was concurrently a visiting professor at the Center for Environmental Policy, or CEP, of Imperial College London. In 2019, he was honored by the American Geophysical Union with their Hydrologic Sciences Early Career Award.
Make peace now, not make women widows. Not make children cry. Make nations strong and still. Make your heart beautiful and new.
Two years later, the next phase of Professor Madani's professional life took him to Dresden, Germany, where the United Nations University has its Institute for Integrated Management of Material Fluxes and of Resources, or UNU-FLORES. The dynamic scientist began working as head of the Nexus Research Program there, while also serving a research professor at the City University of New York Remote Sensing Earth System Institute. And in 2022, he was appointed the next director of the UNU Institute for Water, Environment and Health, located in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, a position he assumed responsibility for on February 1, 2023. Compared with such a whirlwind campaigner as Professor Madani, what can we do as individuals to affect water resource policies? We can borrow his "Let's start with ourselves" slogan and modify our eating habits. It is well documented that cultivating crops is more resource efficient than breeding animal people livestock. In a video message to a climate conference in Veracruz, Mexico, on June 4, 2009, Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, emphasized the importance of humanity adopting veganism en masse.
We can stop water shortage. While droughts are plaguing more populations, we cannot afford to waste water. Animal people. Meat production uses massive amounts of water, as you know. It takes up to 1,200 gallons of fresh and good, clean water to produce just one serving of beef. In contrast, a full vegan meal costs only 98 gallons of water. That is like 90+% less. So, if we want to stop water shortage and to preserve precious water, we have to stop animal products.
6 years later, during a TEDx talk on June 11, 2015, Professor Madani echoed Master's views and noted that half of the population in sub-Saharan Africa lacked access to clean water. Meanwhile, in more developed parts of the world, Most people were eating animal people meat instead of vegetables. The educator explained the consequences of such a choice. That means 15,000 liters of water instead of 2,000 liters of water per kilogram of food. Raising animal people to feed humans is a primary driver of water scarcity and is not sustainable. Let us pray that more individuals will soon awaken to the truth and become vegan.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses, no more hurting, no more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
We are sincerely grateful to Professor Madani for his tireless efforts to improve water resources management, his insightful academic research, and his talent for putting theories into practice are helping communities worldwide make the best of their urgent environmental situations. For more information about Professor Madani, please visit kavehmadani.com, twitter.com/Kaveh Madani.
Vegan. Show our real human side.
Cooperative viewers, it's been a pleasure having you with us today. Next is Together We Can Erase World Karma, Part 1 of 3 on Between Master and Disciples, directly after Noteworthy News. May you be blessed with joyful optimism and heaven's sweetest love.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, hell not reach.
Russia, leave Ukraine or you reign now. Peace be with you too.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/GPGW.